Welcome to the Global Diaspora Week 2015 introductory webinar. Today we are going to share more information on what Global Diaspora Week is and our goal for this year's event, which will be held October 11th to 17th. We will also explain what it means and entails to be a recognized Global Diaspora Week event host. After that, we'll hear from Xin Li from the United Cultures Innovation Center for International Cooperation and Meto Koloski of United Macedonian Diaspora, two organizations that held amazing Global Diaspora Week events last year. They'll be sharing the tips and tricks that they use to host their outstanding events. We'll wrap up today's webinar with a Q&A session where attendees can ask IDEA, Xin, or Meto questions about Global Diaspora Week, the process, or about their events from last year. Feel free to type questions in the box on the left-hand side of the screen as they come to you. We'll keep a running list and address them at the beginning of the Q&A session. A bit of housekeeping before we get started. At the conclusion of this webinar, I'll be sending out a new slide deck that hyperlinks to pertinent information and the recording of the webinar in case of technical difficulties, or if you would like to pass this along. If you would like to live tweet about today's webinar, the hashtag for the webinar is hashtag GDW2015. Global Diaspora Week, or GDW, is a week-long celebration of diaspora communities and their contributions to global development. GDW creates awareness, enables collaboration and learning amongst diaspora communities, government agencies, and the private sector in different regions around the world. Last year, we had over 70 events in 8 different countries. This year, we hope to see an increase in events worldwide. Last year's events were heavily concentrated in North America, and we would love to see events featured in new locations every year. Event highlights from last year include Diaspora Leadership Training Sessions, a 2-hour leadership training session on the basic tenets of organizational leadership, public service, and finding mission-driven work. The Georgia Economic Forum, which consisted of 2 conferences, one on diaspora investment vehicles and the second on diaspora entrepreneurship, as well as a mini marathon, a 5K fun run in honor of GDW. The Afghan Art and Culture Festival, a family-friendly festival that celebrated Afghanistan's rich culture and traditions. A panel on the Chinese diaspora beyond borders, hosted at Harvard University, aimed to break down geographic, cultural, and age barriers and increase mutual understanding, as well as the United Macedonian Diaspora pre-gala reception and 10th anniversary gala, as well as many other great events. We even had several online events, such as webinars and even online conferences. This year, our goal is to have GDW include more diaspora populations worldwide. To do this, we'll be having events in more places than ever before. In order to achieve this goal, we have enlisted the help of regional partners who will act as GDW ambassadors in their region. As the IDEA team is based in DC, regional partners will be a great resource for event hosts internationally. Regional partners will be a local point of contact for any questions or concerns, as well as an extra megaphone to amplify the marketing efforts for individual events and GDW as a whole. We encourage everyone who is a diaspora member, affiliated with a diaspora organization, or interested in engaging with diaspora communities to join the GDW movement and host an event. Events don't have to be planned specifically for GDW. Do you have an event that's already planned that falls between October 11th and 17th and is related to diasporas? Perfect. That counts. Luncheons, fun runs, panel discussions, and heritage festivals are all great ways to get members of your diaspora community together to build awareness and collaboration. Your events don't have to be development related. GDW is about bringing together and celebrating diaspora communities. If you have any stellar ideas for an event off the top of your head, please share it in the chat box on the left-hand side of your screen. We'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. As an event host, you will be the driving force behind the success of GDW. Individual events are self-driven and self-organized by diaspora communities and other interested groups, allowing a greater spotlight to shine on your various organizations and the initiatives that you represent. Event hosts will enjoy the benefit of greatly expanding their networks, engaging new members, and cultivating an even stronger diaspora community. As an event host, you will be responsible for planning, organizing, and running your event, marketing efforts leading up to, during, and after your event, any fundraising efforts needed to support your event, amplifying the GDW marketing content produced by IDEA, driving attendance to your event, and following up with high-quality pictures, videos, and stories. IDEA will help drive promotional efforts of and encourage participation, in every event that is registered by our September 9th deadline. This ensures that our team has enough time to plan out social media and email blasts for every event before it happens. In addition to this, IDEA will be responsible for maintaining the GDW webpage and affiliated social media channels, through which both regional partners and individual events will be promoted. IDEA is not able to offer financial or personnel support to events, but will assist to the best of our ability in addressing concerns that you may have regarding GDW. Again, the deadline to register an event is September 9th. The process of registering your event and being officially involved with GDW may not seem really intuitive, but is actually quite simple. First off, your organization must be registered as an IDEA member. Membership is free and easy. If you haven't yet registered for membership, you should do so today to take advantage of the variety of member benefits. You can learn more and access the registration form by clicking on the membership tab on our diasporaalliance.org homepage seen here. I will also be sending out the link to this immediately following this webinar. If you are an individual, as in not affiliated with an organization or group, and are interested in hosting an event, please email us at information@diasporaalliance.org, and we will coordinate your event approval. Again, that's information@diasporaalliance.org. Once a member, you can register your event on IDEA's dedicated GDW webpage. As mentioned previously, I will send out the links to all webinar attendees today, and the slide deck that will be posted to our website will contain all necessary hyperlinks. The registration form will look something like this. We ask that you fill in all fields and provide us with the most accurate information possible. This will better allow us to promote both your event and your organization. We don't want to send out wrong information to our followers or misrepresent your organizations. Slight changes to your registration can be made, but please remember any changes to your submission will delay our ability to promote your event. Once registered and approved by our team, events will be posted via our Diaspora map under the Opportunities section. Your event will not immediately appear on the map. Please allow time for our team to approve and post events. After this, and your event has been approved by IDEA to be affiliated with GDW, you will receive a comprehensive welcome kit. This kit will provide detailed information on how to best organize and promote your event as a part of GDW. And you will be contacted by a regional partner who will be your point of contact should you have any questions or concerns. You will be the primary force behind marketing your individual event. However, if registered on time, IDEA and a regional partner will help amplify your message across our various media channels. After your event, we'll be in touch to gather follow-up media, including high-quality photos and engaging videos, and have you fill out a quick survey to collect some basic data about your event. Our promotion of your events and GDW doesn't end at the end of the week. We want as many high-quality pictures and video as you can gather and send our way. These photos will be featured through our various social media channels, as well as used as promotion for next year's GDW. The higher the quality, the better. Here's a brief outline to refer to. Please remember that we are a small team, so approval for both memberships and events may be slightly delayed, so bear with us. We are excited to see what great opportunities you guys put together. We're about to hear from Shin and Meto, but before that, if you have any questions regarding the registration process, please type them in the chat box now so we can have answers for as many questions as possible at the end. Thank you. We're now going to hear from Shin Lee from United Cultures Innovation Center for International Cooperation and Meto Koloski from United Macedonian Diaspora, who will share some information about their events from last year and the top things they think made their events so successful. Shin is going to lead us off. Go ahead, Shin.
All right. Thank you, Jeanette, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings from Boston. My name is Shin Lee. I am the founder and the president of United Cultures Innovation Center for International Cooperation. I'm honored today that IDEA invited me to share with you my Global Diaspora Week experience. In the next 5 minutes, you are going to learn about the event we held last year, 4 tips that may help you with your event this year, and brief information about United Cultures. By hosting a Global Diaspora Week event, you are sending a message to the world about who you are, where you are from, and what your origin is. The more you do, the better that the world will understand your diaspora. United Cultures is with the mission to foster communications and collaborations between the US and China. We hosted the 2014 US-China Diaspora Entrepreneurship Forum on October 13 at Harvard University. Even that day was a Columbus Day. We still attracted around 300 attendees. Many of the speakers traveled from other parts of the US and China. We had Massachusetts House Representative Taki Chen as our keynote speaker, industry leaders to share their insights at the panels. The director of Massachusetts Office of International Trade and Investment delivered dinner remarks on behalf of the former Governor Patrick. Many media reported our event. Here are 4 tips that I have for you. When you brainstorm your event idea, think about who your audience are, what topics they may be interested in. My motivation for organizing the event is really from my understanding of the audience. Because I am one of them, so are my teammates. We came as international students. We all wish to build our careers, and we appreciate any advice from established founders. That is how we came up with the Entrepreneurship Forum idea. At the forum, we encourage the speakers to talk about their own stories rather than only talking about their industries. Leverage your available resources. United Cultures has been working in the international exchange field for a long time. We know many senior people in different sectors, and they gave us a lot of support. IDEA is definitely also a great resource. The second tip is about the team. Our event will not be successful without a strong team. Running an event is like running a startup project, and everyone is mission-driven. You need to design your team structure. Our core team has 5 people, and the organizing committee has 38 people in total. Everyone is clear about their jobs and know whom they should report to. The third tip is to be detail-oriented. Make sure that you have timely and clear instructions for speakers, participants, and teammates. When we speak to our stakeholders, we always have one voice to make things look professional. The last tip is following up. The end of the event is not the end of your work. Always follow up with all the stakeholders and media. Use social media to let more people know about your event. Lastly, a little bit about United Cultures. We are a social enterprise mission to foster communications and understandings between the US and China. We are based in Boston, Massachusetts, and with a branch office in Beijing, China. We organize customized programs for Chinese officials, entrepreneurs, and educators in the US. And we have China business trip for US companies. Uber joined our China business trip last year, and they're expanding in China now. We are an agent partner of China Youth Center for International Exchange, the largest youth development nonprofit organization in China, and we work with schools such as Boston University. I think the Global Diaspora Week is an amazing opportunity for you to implement your ideas and influence others. You will receive tremendous support, and you know there are hundreds of people with you to support the global diaspora community. You can see my email here. Feel free to contact me if there's anything I may help. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Shin. That was great. I think that was really well done. And we're going to hear now from Meto Koloski from the United Macedonian Diaspora. And he's going to share information about their 10th anniversary gala. Go ahead, Meto.
Thank you so much. I'm really honored to be part of this conference call, and with Shin and Jeanette, thank you so much, and Lee. What I want to start off with, first of all, is thanking IDEA and the Calvert Foundation for all their hard work on Global Diaspora Week, which started off as a forum back in 2011, and we have participated ever since with various events, and primarily focused on bridging ethnic communities that are from Southeast Europe in Washington, D.C., and we started off with the Southeast Europe Coalition, and we continue actually as a result of the first Global Diaspora Forum that was sort of a call to us, is not trying to focus too much on our own ethnic background, but seeing how we can work with other ethnic groups from the region to push sort of democratic ideals and collaboration within the homelands that we are from, and obviously within the new homelands. And many people are from different parts of the world, obviously, different generational backgrounds, and the diaspora serves as a great tool, I think, to increase relations between the U.S. and their homelands. And so that was our sort of let's get involved. And however, last year we sort of did a different, because our organization, United Macedonian Diaspora, which is the probably leading organization for Macedonians worldwide, not just in the United States, but also with offices in Canada, Australia, and representation throughout Europe. And so it was our 10th anniversary, and so we wanted to be part of this Global Diaspora Week through an event that would sort of celebrate our Macedonian culture, as well as the efforts done by our community to build relations and sort of work together for the betterment of the communities where we live. And so I'll start off with the second slide, well, I guess the first slide, and how we went about doing this event. And so I think it's very key to reach out to the folks at IDEA. And so Sarah Gallagher, who I was in touch with, was fantastic to work with, and really informed me of what their goals were for Global Diaspora Week and what they wanted to see from their end, and definitely gave us the tools and sort of the exposure through the website to sort of just add to the profile of the event that we were planning. And so we started off with marketing it through actually somewhat of a blast on the IDEA website, which is a phenomenal way to get your message across. And I encourage all of you present to consider writing blog posts for the IDEA website, because one, obviously you're promoting your work to a larger audience, and then you're also letting IDEA know that you exist and what you're doing for just sort of diaspora growth and improvement. And so our 10th anniversary weekend with several series of events. And so we started off with a history book lecture at the Library of Congress. And so Washington obviously is the center of a lot of international relations and politics. And so we thought it would be a great way to educate the public on a few things that Macedonians are facing. And so this history book lecture brought around 50 people, which was, it was great because we had this author that came down from Syracuse, New York, who has spent his lifetime working on this topic. And so we attracted a very good group of policy type people, think tank people, history buffs. And so that was great. We also had a State Department briefing for leadership among our communities with representatives from the Office of South Central Europe that handle U.S.-Macedonia relations. We also brought a select group of people to the White House for a briefing with the National Security Council director on the Balkans. And so that was sort of more or less a way to get our membership a little bit more engaged, involved. And then one of the highlights of that day, which was the Friday night, was the Embassy of Macedonia reception. And that brought over 100 people, and actually Sarah from IDEA came, and so it was a wonderful opportunity to I guess first try Macedonian food and wine, promote our culture to an outside audience, not just Macedonians, but people of different ethnic backgrounds, and you can definitely click on the link on this slide, or even go to our website to just search for the reception. You can see the summary of the various events that were going on that weekend. And so the culmination of this weekend was our 10th anniversary gala. And so given that we are a global organization, we had 200 plus attendees from different locations around the world that travel just to be part of this event, and primarily from leadership in our communities. And so, having former ambassadors, we had State Department officials, White House officials, USAID, and actually, thanks to IDEA, we learned that USAID had a project to basically get Diaspora to invest in projects in Macedonia. And so, this was a great introduction for us. And so we actually had the USAID rep, Steve Metzi, attend and speak about this project. And as a result, we've had several months of collaboration, and several Macedonians that we know have actually taken advantage of that opportunity. And so it was a great way to learn more about what USAID is doing, and how the diaspora can help. We had a award ceremony, sign auction, commemorative journal that included several statements from governors, heads of state, members of Congress, members of parliament, and whatnot, all recognizing the work that the diaspora does to improve relations between U.S. and Macedonia. So for us, it was really, truly a remarkable evening and weekend. And so just some sort of tips I think is very key, and obviously we'll open up for questions. But I think when you're deciding, I always suggest, not, I guess more or less try to think outside of the box, and not so much just the group of people that you cater to, or the ethnic group, or the different type of clientele. Try to branch out and try to bring as many people to the table as possible, from the audience perspective. But when it comes to event planning, I think it's very key to be as cost effective as possible. Venues, catering, the music for your events. We were very fortunate to be able to bring over a musical group from New York City that came and really did a fantastic job of entertaining our group. And so your different events for Global Diaspora Week will probably not be galas, may not be receptions. They could be roundtables, and I've hosted roundtables before. So I think, trying to pinpoint, one, what kind of event do you want to have? What's the goal with the event? So like I said, selecting the venue, all the various things, then the audience. And so, what kind of audience do you want to see? And like I said, I think it's very key to bring in as many people as possible to learn more about your work, because you'll be surprised, how many people will come out of the woodwork by finding out about your event and what your organization does. And so, we live in a global world, and thanks to social media, I think we can promote our efforts even more. And then the speakers. I think speakers attract an audience, and depending, if you're an organization that deals with Africa, inviting, high-profile speakers if possible, from either the U.S. government or your respective governments to attend, because I think speakers attract, like I said, attract an audience, and so and making sure that those speakers are in line with your mission and how to continue and showcase the work that you're doing, and then the marketing, which is extremely crucial, and obviously IDEA helps with this by listing your event on their website, circulating the program to their mailing list, which includes hundreds, if not thousands, of leaders in the diaspora worldwide. And it's been fantastic that it's not just a U.S. audience, but it's also a European, an Australian, a Canadian, African, Asian, Latino communities as well. And so the press releases, pre-event, post-event, depending on your speakers, attracting media outlets, newspapers, so TV, bloggers, whatnot, to report, and then social media. I think Facebook, Twitter, hashtags, thinking about Twitter storms as well. During the event, making sure that there's a hashtag that people are constantly tweeting about your event, I think is very key. And so, last but not least, if you want to learn more about our work, you're more than welcome to visit our website, also our Facebook, Twitter, umdiaspora.org, United Macedonian Diaspora, Facebook and Twitter. And so we're happy to, answer any questions you may have right now. So thanks so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Meto, so much. That was wonderful and really great advice, I think, that really emphasized the importance of bringing in a diverse range of actors to your event, and sort of the power that you can find in that, in finding different and new connections with people, whether it's, USA is doing a relevant program that you guys can build upon, or others. And I would like to emphasize again something that Meto said, which was, write a blog for IDEA. We feature IDEA members regularly on our website, and we'll be featuring, as we did last year, events that have been registered for Global Diaspora Week in our monthly newsletters to sort of, start ginning up excitement and give people an idea of what's happening. So thank you for that, Meto. And yes, we invite all of you to write blogs if you're interested in promoting your organization and the work that you do to the IDEA network. And as Jeanette said, we are a small team, but we are happy to provide support in the ways that we can for your events. So, reach out and contact us. And as Meto said, we're very happy to provide, as much marketing and communication support as we possibly can to all of the events that are participating in GDW. So now we're going to open up for questions, and we've received a few questions along in the left side of the chat box. Again, please feel free to send additional questions in the chat box there, or as Jeanette said, to follow up at information@diasporaalliance.org. But I'm going to let Jeanette go ahead and answer the questions that we've received thus far.
Thanks, Lee. Our first question is, for the diaspora map for GDW events, is it different from the diaspora map for members? And the really cool thing about our diaspora map is that they are the same. So on the map, you can see our IDEA member organizations, and then there's also a tab for opportunities, which will be where all the GDW events can be found, as well as opportunities being offered by our members and by IDEA, different capacity building opportunities, that kind of thing. So they will be on the same map, and that's why you have to be a IDEA member as an organization to be able to register your event for GDW. The second question we got is if an organization can host 2 GDW events. You can host 100 GDW events. The more events you host, the better. You're not limited in the kinds of events you host or how many events you host. People have done fun runs and conferences the same week. Different things can be done. I would suggest having at least one cultural event. As Meto said, he served Macedonian food and wine, and I think those kinds of events get a lot of traction outside of the development realm. The Afghan Arts and Cultural Festival had a lot of kid-friendly activities. And so that's also a good way to involve more generations in it.
And I had one more comment. It's that last year we had a group that actually did a webinar every day of Global Diaspora Week, and that was their commitment to the week. They hosted an event every single day, a different online conversation on various different topics that were important to the sort of Caribbean diaspora writ large. So there's a lot of different ways to host events, and as Jeanette said, you can host as many as you can do well and put on, but we'd be happy to have you host 2 events or as many events as you'd like to put under the GDW banner.
Thanks, Lee. Our last question is asking for more information of the host organization and idea and how we can work effectively together. So GDW is really a organization-driven event because we want to give you guys as much freedom as possible to allow your organizations to shine and not to be overshadowed by GDW. And so we can offer as much support as we're currently able to. Unfortunately, at this time, we can't offer personnel support for your events or funding, but we are definitely willing to help you brainstorm ideas on ways to tackle any situations that might come up in your planning of your event. And we are more than happy to do that. You can email information@diasporaalliance.org. And of course, you can always tweet at us and we can get back in touch with you that way if that's easier. We're definitely willing to help as much as possible.
And we also have one-pagers on GDW, and also on the website you can explore in detail the roles of host organizations and the roles of IDEA. And again, as Jeanette said, if you have any other additional questions, please feel free to email us and reach out. And I see that we have another question, which is it possible to organize sub-regional events with many countries? And the answer is yes. I mean, there's really no limit to what type of events you can organize. It's, just up to, all of our own creativity. So if you think there is an effective way for you to organize an event with multiple countries, I think that would be great. And I think it really speaks to one of the points that Meto was making about the importance of diversity and, engaging a broad range of diaspora. And that could be very interesting. So yes, please involve other countries, involve other diasporas. That's all great.
And I think Meto actually had something to add. So go ahead, Meto.
Yes, I just wanted to mention about, in regards to staffing, obviously IDEA doesn't have staffing capabilities for various events, but I think that you can definitely find volunteers depending on where you're located through the local universities, different event planning websites that people love to volunteer and be part of something just to put on their resume or just gain experience, and even in the whole event planning process, not just on the day of. So you can definitely find, I would suggest contacting the university fields that focus on event planning or any kind of programs like certificate programs or whatnot.
Thanks, Meto. That's a great ad. Also, if in terms of funding, crowdfunding is also a good way, and we can maybe provide some website resources on our social media in the coming weeks to help you guys find ways to get volunteers and such.
Yeah, and one other resource that I'd point out again is really using the Diaspora map. If you guys haven't registered your organization as an IDEA member, and then on the Diaspora map, I would really encourage you to do that. The map is really to make the IDEA membership base visible to everyone, so everyone can sort of use that as an interactive tool to search and sort and find the type of organizations who might be working on similar issues or in similar areas to you. And contact information is provided on the map as well. So it's really a tool meant to enable new connections and collaborations, and we think could be very powerful for an event like Global Diaspora Week. So please, jump on the map, register, send it on to your contacts and other organizations you think would be good to put on the map, and really use that as a tool for connection and collaboration.
I just wanted to add one more insight that IDEA really helps a lot. Last year, Sarah helped us to connect with the Mass Marketing Partnership, which is also a government agency. They help us post our events. They help us a lot with marketing and also reported the event. So definitely ask the idea whether they have any resources that will help you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sheen. That's a really great point. And as Jeanette mentioned, and as Sheen just pointed out again, when you register your event and you submit the event that you are planning on hosting, of course, what we do as IDEA is think about who can we direct your way that can provide additional sort of support or resources or encouragement for the event, or who might find it interesting or might like to partner or promote it. So we have a pretty wide network here at IDEA, and we like to utilize it for you guys and for GDW. So if you do have any other additional questions or are, looking for people who might be working on similar issues or might be interested in participating, that's something that we are always thinking about as we start to get more information about the events that IDEA members are planning on hosting. Yeah, so I think those are all. Oh, we have one more question. Do you have any templates or other documents to help organizing and running the event? So I think that really depends on what type of event you're planning on hosting. And again, we're happy to sort of help brainstorm on that if you have a few ideas and want help narrowing them down and focusing them. And we do have a welcome kit and template for GDW, which sort of goes into greater detail about how to utilize the resources that IDEA is offering in terms of marketing and communications and other connections. So there is, more detailed instructions about how to do that. I believe we even have sort of sample tweets and, how to use Facebook, how to use Twitter, how to use all of our online resources, and how to use the map effectively. So we do have templates for that type of organization and communication. But it really depends on, again, sort of what event you're trying to do. And as Sheen mentioned in her presentation, what is your goal and what is your audience that you're trying to accomplish? And so next question is, how do we find partners or members that may be doing what we're interested in? So that's an excellent question. And again, I would encourage you to sort of hop on the map and take a look around on that. For instance, Anna, perhaps you could search and sort, do we have any partners on the map who are in Honduras right now and might be working in similar issues or areas that you are interested in? But what I would also really say is, think about the event again and what you'd like to accomplish, and then we can really start being more useful in terms of who you might find as a partner or who also might be interested in participating in an event like that. But essentially, the more specific you can be about the goals that you are trying to accomplish through your event, the more help that we can really be to you. I would also encourage you all to sort of, for those of you who are new to IDEA, to take a look around the website to see, if we may have people or resources on the different areas that you're interested in seeking partners or more information on. Excellent. So do we have any other questions? I just want to give people a minute if there's any other sort of last minute questions here. But again, really want to emphasize that you can send us any and all questions to information@diasporaalliance.org. And as Jeanette mentioned in her intro, we will be following up to this webinar with an email that gives an overview of the process of, again, what an event host is for IDEA, what GDW is, how to register your event, and all of the different resources that we discussed on the phone today and making them obvious to you. So we'll be sending all of those out. So no need to write them all down or memorize it, but we'll be on the line for you guys. And again, reach out if you have any other questions. I want to say a special thank you to our presenters, Meto and Sheen, for their wonderful advice that they provided today, and also for their great events last year. We're really looking forward to what they might do this year for Global Diaspora Week. So Meto and Sheen, thank you again. And thank you to everyone for joining the call. We're really looking forward to working with all of you this year and making it an even bigger and more global Diaspora Week this year. So thanks again, and we're looking forward to hearing from you all.